we're gonna share the real reseller secrets today. And normally I keep all the good ones to myself. No, I'm just kidding. But today we've got some really good secrets for you guys. I received a truckload of stuff on last Saturday, a few days ago, and I just want to go over a little bit of the process as well for buying a full semi. So it's 27 to 28 pallets, depending on what kind of pallets you get. So an entire semi truck I bought from New Jersey, it was like $2 to $3 million. It definitely cost over $100,000 on one order, which is kind of crazy, but I didn't always start there. I started small. So I want to talk about some secrets today. I have three main secrets to go over today, and we're doing a live Q&A, so if you guys have any questions, throw it in the chat. But number one is, this is gonna sound really wild, which is you wanna do what's right and then keep doing it that way. I know it sounds wild, but for some reason, a lot of us resellers are spending most of our day fixing bad listings. But why do we even have bad listings in the first place? Why are we buying stuff that eventually I'm just hoping to get rid of it, is what people say. I'm hoping I can at least break even. But we're not here to break even. We're here to make a profit so that we can support ourselves. And it's more fun when you sell something for a profit. Who here sells something for $20 or more profit and there's a smile across their face? You're actually excited to go ship it. You sell something for $1 profit or you lose money on it. I mean, it's not a very good feeling. So I don't know what happened on YouTube, but as you guys know, in our group that I do with Tech and Sports, he recommends a $20 profit minimum on every item and to just pass if items suck. If they're not $20 profit, just leave it there. And he said that since 2017, but for some reason, I didn't even get the memo until 2023 that I can only buy good items. It didn't occur to me. So that's kind of weird because who popularized buying junk? So I hope it wasn't me on YouTube. You guys can blame me in the comment section, but like I think that if you focused on only selling good stuff, your resale life would be a lot different. So the analogy I'm going to use is I would recommend no partner versus bad partner, no relationship versus bad relationship. If you're going to be with somebody toxic just because you're lonely, I think that's a poor decision. You'd be better off by yourself. Same thing with bad inventory. Like, you'd be better off having nothing in your house than a whole store of toxic inventory. It takes all of your attention, won't sell no matter if you discount it. You've tried everything and it still doesn't sell. You don't want those kinds of items in your store. You want items that sell immediately. I just finished revamping my Poshmark closet, as you guys know. Every single item in the store is $20 profit and over, and there are thousands of items in there, and the brands aren't even that good yet. So as I continue to improve my Poshmark closet, the brands will get better and better and better and better, and I'm going to continue to do that. I don't want to add in anything that's junk. We have no junk left. Don't want to sell any more junk. So that's number one, reseller secret number one. Are there any questions before we move on?
There's one question.
Yep.
Kaylee says, would you ever add a Depop call? It seems there are very few Depop sellers who share useful information.
Yes, we can do that. A lot of people have recommended that I sell Depop now that I'm doing more trendy stuff. The trendy stuff sells better on Depop and for more money. It's just there's less people shopping on Depop versus eBay and Poshmark, which is like millions of unique users every single month. I'm not sure what the Depop population is, but it is skewed a little bit younger, and I do like that demographic as well. So I think at the very least, if I do Depop, I'm gonna try to figure out how to get to a certain level and then just maintain it. But yes, on our Friday call, Friday every other 1 p.m., or sorry, 1 p.m. every other Friday, I host the Whatnot and other platform call. So we also talk about Poshmark on that call, but I'm 100% happy to talk about Depop because I think that there's a good opportunity there to do well if you know your trends.
Kaylee says, thanks for responding. Definitely almost an exclusively Gen Z demographic.
Yeah, I agree. So I'm excited to do that. And I think I understand what's good because I've only sold one item on Depop. I sold the Supreme leopard print fanny pack and sold for really good money. So I figure Gen Z would buy that. Okay, number two is, this is gonna sound crazy, but we're talking about the real reseller secrets here. You wanna solve bigger problems, not more small problems. So as an example, just think about this. Does it make sense to to drive for Uber, drive for Lyft, do TaskRabbit, do DoorDash, I don't know all the other companies that do side gigs, but like doing all of those at the same time doesn't make sense. You don't make more money. You just make a little money here and a little money there. It adds up to the same part-time income that people who do the gig economy, they don't make a full-time living. They usually make between $20,000 and $40,000 a year. And I don't know where you guys live, but that doesn't pay the bills in the Bay Area if that's your full-time gig and your only income. So it's the same thing as cross-listing. People add a whole bunch of small incomes together. It doesn't make sense. You want to solve a bigger problem, like how do I list more items? Like listing 10 items on 10 different platforms does not make as much money as 20 items on one platform. That's a bigger problem to solve. How do I find 20 items? How do I store 20 items? At that point, maybe you move out of your house. Let me know in the comment section below, guys, if you're looking for, you want to do eBay in a one bedroom, you want to do it in 1-car garage, 2-car garage, you want a warehouse, let me know where you want to be. But a bigger problem would be like, I don't have enough space. I would need a storage unit. Or a bigger problem would be my thrift route is too small. How can I increase geographically so I can find more good stuff for a great price? Or I don't have any connections. How do I solve that? There are so many resellers who've been doing this for 10, 20 years that don't know a single person that brings them supply. At this point in my career, there's so much supply and all of it is good. It's really hard for me to even pick which opportunity because I literally bought an entire truck at $20 profit. So now it's like kind of blowing my mind because over time I've been solving bigger and bigger problems, which is like, as an example, some of the suppliers I work with need to move certain inventory and they need certain things done. And I've taken some of those bullets and helped them to get to where I want to go because I'm solving their problems now and they're helping me out with different kinds of inventory. So it's interesting. As you grow, you should be solving bigger problems. When you are working at a normal job, usually you start at entry level and you become like you start at junior level, you become a senior level, then you become a manager, then a middle manager, then a top manager, then a vice president, then an owner, then a partner, right? With reselling, a lot of people just stay at entry level forever. They never grow. They never become an expert. Being an expert means every item you're picking up is $20, $30, $50, $100 profit because you know what you're doing because you've studied and put your time in. Shout out to Back from Burnout. Mel was just doing an interview today with a bookseller that specializes in books with no barcode. That's not easy. That requires a lot of experience. He's looking for listings on eBay that have 5 or less comparable listings. He wants to operate in a category of 1 where there's nobody really competing with him. He has the cool, rare stuff. If you guys want to sell what everybody else has, very difficult. You've got to move a lot of volume to make any money. Think Walmart. Walmart model makes a lot of money. Walmart's profit margin is only 1%, but they do have like thousands of stores and literally millions of employees. Like I think 1 in 17 people in America have worked for Walmart. That's pretty insane to me. So huge company, lots of employees, huge problem they solved. And that's why like the top 10 richest people in America were family members of Sam Walton. Rest in peace. Everybody should read that book, Made in America. He made more money than any other human ever and gave it all away. So I, take his advice for being one of the biggest philanthropists ever and making Walmart, which is a very odd concept, into like the biggest thing ever. Like the amount of people they employ and all the companies that they buy from is literally like 20 or 30 million people. They make their living off of Walmart. That's so insane to me. So many people. So solve bigger problems, not more small problems. Is that making sense to everyone here? Lyft plus Uber Eats plus Instacart is not better than just being a manager at one company. Is there questions?
Yeah, Alicia's asking, I have been thinking of joining your group for the zip code call, but I do not have Facebook and would not get Facebook for mental health reasons. How much is that a part of the group?
So what you could do is you could just log into the main sheet, which has all of the information from the call on it, which is like all our 15 different calls. You would never need to log into Facebook if you don't want to. I personally only use the business page on Facebook. I don't look at the other parts of Facebook. I just bookmark the group, go in there, read the post, and then get off of it. In fact, I didn't even want to start the group in 2017 when Tech recommended we start because I didn't like Facebook. But it was foolish because you don't have to use the other parts of Facebook. If you really want to go extreme, you could just make a Facebook has nothing on it, that's not connected to any of your friends, and just log on to the group, and then your news feed won't have anything because you don't have it connected to anyone. If you want to use it purely for business, but I use it purely for business. I did go on there recently because of my 20-year reunion, and I kind of saw where everybody was at in their lives, and I just want to tell you guys, if you are patient, your next reunion, people are not going to be able to recognize you. Because 5 or 10 years goes by when you're being consistent, you're a totally different person. I meet people that, this is kind of sad, but when I was in high school, I was president, and our theme was best days of our lives, even though I hated that. Because I'm like, I really hope this is not the best days of our lives. We're 17. But for some reason, I got outvoted. So everybody that picked the theme. Yeah, it's a Green Day. But like I hated that theme. I was like, I hope not. But it's true. When I went to the 20-year reunion, there were a lot of people that those were the best days of our lives, and that's sad, right? I don't know, is that too brutal? I feel like they peaked at 17, and anyway, I feel like that's a really sad motto, and I was like, let's pick something better. But I don't know, I lost. We went to this retreat to like discuss what was going to happen during the year, and then we just followed the plan. And why can't we do that with reselling? Why can't you decide how much money you want to make? We'll make the plan together and then do it. How come there's all this like, I've been doing this for 4 or 5 years and I still don't know what I'm doing? That's, let's have a talk. Let's have a chat. I'm opening up the shop. If you want to have lunch, you can have lunch with me 12 to 1 o'clock most days. But if you want like a tour and to like try listing and like get the full experience of me trying to show you something, I'm trying to get at least 4 people together because it's more useful. Like if 4 people come here, 4 people take photos, 4 people's lists, they get to see each other do it. It's more useful than just me doing it and you watching me do it. So if you want to get together like 4 people and come visit, I'm happy to show you guys everything I know in person. Yeah, all I ask in turn is that you guys potentially join our Patreon group if you want to, because we do this every single day. But solve bigger problems, not little problems. And then before we get into reseller secret number 3, hopefully there's some feedback or comments or questions.
Yeah. Antea says, I have 650 items in my closet now and only do 1 to 3 sales a day. My items aren't bad brands, but they are dated. My photos may not be the best. Should I lower my price to get rid of them or just re-photo?
My top recommendation is to sell everything and start over. And that is the sold method, which is start with good items that are quality and in demand and on trend that are $20 profit or more. If you don't have those, or there are old items in your store that are not good, we're going to do the sold part of the acronym, which is always optimize. So that would be new photos, new titles, better price. On Poshmark, I actually put in my listings, I'll accept the return on some of them because I don't want people to worry if it's not what they want. And on Poshmark, you don't even pay for the return. So I don't mind saying, if you don't like it, return it, because I don't pay for the return and I want people to buy it. And it gives people a lot more confidence if you tell them, I guarantee my products are good or you can send it back. Which scares the living daylights out of a lot of Poshmark sellers. They do not want to deal with returns. But honestly, my items are as described, so I'm not afraid of returns. So after you optimize it, then lower the price or liquidate. And I would go as low as $3 plus shipping on Poshmark because that's as low as it goes and you still make 5 cents. To me, 5 cents is better than leaving it in your store and it never sells and it takes up space in your store and in your brain. So I have no problem with you discounting all 650 items in your store to $3. Then it will really show you what kind of items you're picking up if they don't sell for even 3. And that's to get the, the velocity built up. As you guys know, there's like a secret closet score for Poshmark will rate you based on how many good sales you have, whatever. And I'm thinking to myself, as I build this platform, I think that if you're doing like 10 to 20 good sales for every defect on Poshmark, you're probably ranked in the top percent. Because on eBay, you can screw up 5% of the time and still be top rated. So Poshmark is similar in the sense that you sell 10 to 20 items perfectly for every one bad one. Poshmark's always going to side with you because I've had, I would say, let me look at my Poshmark. I started Poshmark a couple of months ago. and I'll show you guys the statistics. So I've done 73,000 so far in the last couple of months on Poshmark. I would say around 40,000 profit, which is a lot. That's more than most people do all year. 40,000 profit is for me, I consider that awesome. It's like, so like Labor Day weekend, we were closed here, but my Poshmark closet was still going. And that really helps to get sales 24 hours a day. What was my point? Let's see. Poshmark. Oh yeah, the key is to fill your Poshmark with only great items. In my store, every single item is $20 profit. So I'm just waiting, and I think that a lot of people are confused and they think that I only cheap sell items. Let's look. We can scroll through here. None of the items sell for less than 35, and 35 is where I make a $20 profit. So I don't know if you guys can see that at home, but I don't cheap sell anything. My prices are high. And I'm not making $20 profit an item, it's more like 30. So like I'm really concentrating. And the brands in my store are not even the great brands. As I continue to grow, I'm looking for, I figured out the finish line for my Poshmark closet. It's 1,500 a day. I want to do 1,500 a day on Poshmark, and I'm so happy with that amount. I don't need to do more than that. Also, I need some ideas for how to get my eBay account back. So as you guys know, or actually, I don't know if you guys know because I didn't say it, but I finished my backyard. So now I have a backyard for my 2 kids to play, and there's space for a structure. So I'm thinking about doing my eBay dream when I was a kid back in 2016. And I was like, shout out to Teresa Cox, do you know her? I saw her on the eBay commercial. She's like, every day I wake up and I go outside my house and walk into my eBay shed. And I was like, yes, I want an eBay shed. So now I actually have a house and I can do that. So I can make a little shed. Also shout out to Commonwealth Picker. I know that he has a shed, Garage Flips, all those guys, they have like little structures they walk into to do eBay. I think I want to do that in my eBay retirement. Like I want to go in there and sell everything store, but only 10 items and less, and make $20 profit an item. So as I retire, I'm going to have everything stored in the shed. But I need an eBay store to do that. So I haven't broken any rules. I didn't do anything illegal. I don't see why I can't get my eBay account back eventually. And when I do, we can go shed shopping. I want to get a shed, and I don't know, like the ones at Costco, do you build them or how does that work? Like the ones that you see, do they build it on site? Do they use a crane? Is that a thing?
Yeah, probably.
And just drop it? Drop it in? Is that, I don't know if that's real or not, but
I think so.
yeah, Holly says there's a lot of people that get rid of sheds, but I'm thinking 400 square feet. Maybe you can put a kiln there.
I have my kiln in my shed.
Yeah, so Holly has a shed with a kiln in it, so I was, yeah. So I want like a 400 square foot shed that I do 10 listings a day out of, $20 profit. And as I retire, I can just do that for fun. $73,000 a year is awesome, and that would be my fun thing I do as I get old. Because reselling is like, I call it the business for old people because it's like golf. Golf is the sport for old people because you can do it as long as you're somewhat mobile. So that plus, I'm happy with my minivan. I think that's a good enough car. I don't need a Sprinter to, like I don't want to sell pool tables. I'm good with like, you know, a Pelican statue, like Terminal 99. So some kind of random thing is cool. But they have to be $20 profit and they have to sell fast. Even in my retirement store, I don't want junk taking a long time to sell. Sorry, that was a long rant. Before we get into secret number 3, is there more questions?
There are, but...
Okay, go ahead.
Okay. Nomadic Thrifts says, I have enough space, but my local stores are terrible for sourcing. Do you have any tips for sourcing online, such as small lots or pallets?
Such a good question. So I don't recommend pallets or lots unless you can do volume. It's not that easy. Like there's so much stuff we have to go through today. Today I have to pay 2 people's salaries for just sorting, right? So we don't even make money when we're just sorting. And I feel like if you're a small seller, it's so hard to sort. So my recommendation for online sourcing is, I'm not going to give away the secrets, but Neil in our morning call, He's looking at a specific brand of jeans. Let's call it Acne Jeans. That's not it, but ACNY is a Bolo brand of jeans. But not every single subset of Acne jeans sells well. Certain ones do well and certain ones do not do well. So what he did was he made a spreadsheet of every single model this this jean company makes, and he figured out which ones sell for the most money and the most often. Those are the ones that he is reselling, and he's looking at $10 or less buy cost and $70 or more sell cost. So that allows him to make a profit because it's $10 plus shipping plus tax. You get the items in. He needs enough room to make a $20 profit. So he has to focus on 10 and the 70 and be really hyper focused on this brand. A lot of people who list don't know what they're doing. You're gonna post one of these jeans that sells for 70 incorrectly, he's gonna scoop it up. So that's my recommendation is make a list of the brands you wanna snipe, do it one by one. The bulk method is all $5 or $10 profit. It's not for the faint of heart. You need a lot of space and a lot of volume to do it.
Okay, there's a question saying, I've been using your strategies in my Amazon
Yep.
as a bookseller.
Yep.
I deleted all of my inventory and started only listing 10 items per day with $20 and up profit. I'm at 130 items so far and I've only sold 2. Do you have any advice?
Yes. So hopefully they have the right sell-through rate because there's 2 parts to it: $20 profit and 90-day sell-through or less. So let me ask the chat. We looked up one of the jeans that Neil saw, and the range was they sold for $70 on the high end. On average was $50, and the lowest was people were selling it for $20 free shipping. So the lowest is $20 free shipping. The highest was $70 plus shipping. There's the range, and the average is about $50. If your buy cost was $20, what would you price them at? Like, because $20 would be $10 buying it online plus shipping. So 10 plus shipping plus tax, you get it for 20. Middle is 50, 70 is the high end plus shipping, so 80. Low end is 20 including shipping. This is where the sell-through rate gets tricky because $20 free shipping, that's gonna sell right away. Like definitely less than 30 days. $70 plus shipping, maybe you're waiting a whole year. So it is interesting, right? If hopefully people are typing in numbers, it's gonna be different for everyone depending on your risk tolerance. But I'm really curious what you guys are priced it at. $20 buy cost, they sell between 20 free shipping, which you would lose money, and 70 plus shipping, which you would triple your money. 70 after fees is probably 60. So triple your money from 20 to 60 if you wait a year. You lose money if you sold it within a week. Somewhere in the middle, 90 days, you would double your money. So for the Amazon person, gotta look at your sell-through rate. Sometimes a $20 profit means you're waiting years to sell it.
Nomadic Thrifts was asking, how do they come to visit you?
Email me at chris@dailyrefinement.com. And my main thing is Friday. I want to do this Friday. So if you guys want to come this Friday, I'm offering In-N-Out.
Nice.
So if you want to come, free In-N-Out Friday, come in the morning. We have the listing party, which you can sign up for. Email me and I'll send you the link. It's at bit.ly/Friday listing party is the link. bit.ly/Friday listing party. You can link up, join the free party. You can do it in person on Friday here. I'm in Oakland, California, or you can do it at home. But I recommend you turn your video on because I want real accountability. And if that ends up working like it has been, I'm going to do it every day. Why not just turn the camera on? None of this is fake. I could just turn on the camera and you guys can watch me work. So that accountability might help a lot of people.
Black Balath says, do you think selling clothes on Poshmark is better than selling on eBay?
No. There's I don't know, like 300 million people who use eBay to look for clothing. That's so many, so it's not better than Poshmark. Poshmark, in my opinion, is better for shoes.
Alicia says, where did you hear about the Poshmark score, and when did you think it makes a difference? I have sold about 950 items.
I think it makes a difference right around 10 sales. So if you have 10 sales, do a good job, I think you're fine. It's like, it eliminates all the people that have like barely sell anything or they do a bad job because it deducts from your score if you do a bad job. So if you have 10 good sales for every one bad sale, you're probably fine. So for your 900 sales, if you've screwed over less than 90 people, Poshmark's probably going to be fine. The bar is set really low. Just like Posh Ambassador, you can get Posh Ambassador in one day. It's not that difficult to get that. It's essentially just sharing and selling 15 items, something like that.
Thank you for the super chat, Matthew Miller.
Thanks, Matt.
He says, thank you so much for everything you do, Chris. You have completely changed my life with the advice from you and tech. I hope to meet you someday.
I love it. I love to meet you too. And I'm confirmed I'm going to go to the UK next summer.
Nice.
So if you guys want to come, I want to visit all the people in the group. I don't know where Liverpool is, but they say I have to go. I'm assuming it's north. But I want to. People in the group are putting where they are in the UK, and I'm going to do my best to hang out with people. And my goal, this is going to sound kind of weird, but I want to sleep in wherever your eBay room is. Wake up and get to work, and because I'm not there for vacation. I want to help people, so we'll go there. I'll wake up in your store, fix it as much as I can. We'll have some bangers and mash, and we'll go to the next store. That's what I want. That was like the English breakfast, bangers and mash, and a Pilsner at the local pub. That's like the best ever.
So good.
Oh my God, it's the best.
Sausages,
Yeah, sausage.
onion
So
gravy, peas, mashed potatoes.
So that was like the best thing ever. So and the coffee shop that I went to with my wife called Gale's, that was just the best thing ever. So just a cup of coffee, some sausages, some English breakfast, eBay. Love it.
Yeah. Dare to Wonder says, I've been clicking the do not remind me again about the item specifics, but thinking I want to go back in there and add them in. Should I end and then relist?
I wouldn't end and relist, but you can fill it out. Go ahead. Oh, I need to think of something for Dara to do. So what I would do if you can is maybe you can just take the plastic wrapping off of these, or is that not good?
I mean, it's unnecessary. We do need the pallets moved out. So
Can you do that? Okay, I want to move them into the parking lot. Okay. Just right outside the door, closest to me. Okay. See, this is real.
Yeah,
This is real. This is not a movie set.
We're
I
working.
actually resell for a living. Okay.
Christina says, I had a return yesterday that said it was not a true medium, even though I put measurements in the description.
Yeah.
eBay automatically refunded through the guarantee, and that's annoying. It had a size label. No investigation?
No, they would just refund automatically if they return the item to you. I mean, I get returns like that, not the blue I thought. A bigger medium than I thought, or used to fit me and it doesn't. Like it does. That's nothing you can do about that. It's a form of buyer's remorse. So you don't need to refund the original shipping when you do that. So there's really not a huge loss. You lose like the cost of shipping one way to the customer, and that's okay. That's the cost of doing business. It's much stronger to offer that guarantee and get more sales, and the final value sale discount of 10% covers that. So always makes sense to do free returns, unless you don't sell a lot of items. Then I recommend no returns.
Thank you for the super chat, Philly Flipper.
Philly Flipper.
They say next time leave Mel on Alcatraz.
I will. You know what, guys? So Mel commented that one of the biggest things that was unusual about being in the U.S. was we use a lot of water in our toilets. Because I guess in Australia they only use an inch, and we use like half full or something. But I looked it up. A third of the water we use in our house is the toilet. So maybe Americans are wasteful, and we should only have one drop of water in our toilets. But she didn't notice that the water spins the other direction down the drain. Because people were saying that. But and I think it's cold in Australia right now. But when I do the East Coast tour, I haven't been to Florida in a long time. I'm super excited to visit Tech's shop, and it's been a while. My babies are growing up, and finally they sleep through the night, and I don't know what's a good age to bring them on the plane, but Natalie went on the plane last year and she liked it, so maybe I can bring the kids out, go to Disney, visit Philly Flipper, Paul, even though he's in Florida now. But oh yeah, also in our group we have a YouTube call, and they were explaining to me why I can't do vlogs, and I was explaining to Christine earlier. It's because I only think about what to say, and so my YouTube channel is different. It's just about me with different ideas. But in a vlog, you don't tell people anything. You show them things. So like, I'm showing people after we're done. I'm going to show people me unloading the truck. I'm going to show people us organizing. I'm going to show people us shipping, so people get an idea of what this looks like instead of me just talking. So
Yeah.
there'll be more vlogs in the future.
Thank you for the super chat, Bold Finds.
James.
He says, you will regret wanting to stay in my shed. I don't think you understand how small our spaces are in the UK. Looking forward to seeing you.
Oh, I'm excited. I'll sleep right in the middle. A couple
Like
of
right in the middle.
my workers went on vacation over the weekend. They slept in a waterbed. It can't be as bad as that.
Yeah.
Does anybody in the chat sleep in a waterbed? Because see, she's sore from sleeping in it. So I would have taken the floor too. Floor?
I would not the couch.
Oh, the couch. The
The
couch.
water.
I was like, I can't do it. I need a permit.
I think I haven't seen a waterbed
Yeah.
this decade. Oh wait, this millennium.
The actual honeymoon suite was a waterbed too, and the poor bride and groom were like.
They were on the
they had
waterbed
two
too.
dogs.
Yeah, they're like, that was not.
They were like-
Dogs.
Wow.
And I was like, why'd you pick that room then? They could have should have picked a different room.
They went. Yeah, it is. I haven't seen one since the year 2000. All of the waterbeds I saw were in the 90s and 80s. So
Those were like made in the 70s.
they were made in the 70s. So, but I don't remember. I haven't seen one in a long time. I wonder if you could still buy one.
Maybe.
Yeah. Oh yeah. They
Oh.
New Country Guy says, Chris, what do you know about Japanese-made jeans? I found a pair yesterday with a British flag on them. Virtually no comps on eBay or WorthPoint. Found one site where a guy had sold a pair. He said they were rare.
A lot of Japanese denim is American looms. Did you guys know that? In the US, when we stopped making all that stuff, they bought up all of it, and a lot of selvage denim is made in Japan. So it's great stuff. I personally do like the selvage denim that you wear and don't wash until it fits your body. It's cool, but it is expensive, but it depends on if people want to do it themselves. If there's so many different factors. Denim is a huge category, and I would ask Andy in our jean call on Fridays, because like we have a specific jean seller call going over all that stuff, because it's like blue gold, as they say. So it's there's a lot of cool jeans.
Gina says, is free shipping better than paid shipping?
Free shipping ranks higher than paid shipping, but it's not necessary for resellers. If you're selling in a category where there's not that many options, I don't recommend it, because when you do free returns, like I suggest, you would end up paying shipping twice. So I would rather you just offer a great price and go by total price and not by free shipping. Free shipping is fine, there's nothing wrong with it. It ranks higher, but it's just expensive.
Alicia says, can you explain the 10% off final value fee? Like
Yeah.
it's 2.9% fee instead of 12.9% for clothing?
No, it's like 10% of 12.9. So it's like 1.29% cheaper. It's 10% of the fee is less. So if the fee was $10, the fee would be $9.
Kristen says, is buyer paid returns not okay in your opinion? Why either free returns or no returns?
No returns is because the people who are afraid of it, I feel like just show your true colors and don't offer returns, because you don't really want returns. There's people I know that do fine on eBay with no returns. It's just like buyer pays returns to me is not full confidence in your item. So if you have full confidence in your item, you can have it. If you don't like it, I'll pay for it to return. If you have no confidence in your item or you don't want to do returns, then just do no returns. Why would you offer a middle ground? Like, kind of trust me? That doesn't make sense to me. Like, just go all the way or none of the way, in my opinion, because I don't know why you would do buyer pays return shipping and still accept returns, because the people who offer that, they complain when people return the item. So just tell people I don't want returns and take a smaller, like, there are 10 people who want free returns, one person that doesn't care. So if you only want the people who don't care, then just advertise that, in my opinion. I just think it's one or the other. I don't know why you would do buyer pays returns, in my opinion.
There was a third point. That
Oh, the third point. You guys ready?
Yeah.
So the third point is it's to treat this like a job. I know it sounds like the secret is that I treat this like a job. I come to work at the same time every day. I leave at work at the same time of day. I do the best I can while I'm here. Every year I'm trying to get a new certification. Like maybe I learn about heels. I learn about stilettos. Like one of the processes for selling these shoes that I have was in the shoe call, I was saying, okay, how do we sell these good American shoes? Or how would I sell them, right? So I was doing some brainstorming, trying to figure out who wears these kinds of shoes. It's mostly people along the coast that are going out. These are going out shoes for people on the coast. It's different, right? Somebody in LA going to a nightclub is a different demographic than an event in Omaha, generally. Although in Omaha they have some nice nightclubs, I've heard. So these shoes are designed for that, so I need to make a strategy that's for that. So I went to the shoe call and asked them, what do you guys think? Because Alfredo, Nina, and Isaiah, they lead the shoe call and they're professional shoe sellers and they only sell shoes. So asking them their opinions is very important because a 3-inch stiletto, it's different than a pair of sneakers. Gotta approach it differently, gotta really narrow it down. That's why I say treat this like a job. And I wanted to shout out another YouTube channel, The Lock Picking Lawyer. I find it so cool that he picks locks on YouTube and people said, wow, you can make a lot of money picking locks. And he was like, making money, right? Like, cause he's like, when you're a lawyer, you're making potentially $300 an hour. Oh, can you?
Oh, what's up?
You're potentially making $300 an hour or more as a lawyer, and you wouldn't make that much as a locksmith.
You're good.
So you want to pick jobs that are higher value if you can. So selling liquidation, very difficult, but it does pay more, in my opinion, than selling items one by one. But it's a different skill set. Like for me, I'm hoping to sell 4,000 pairs of shoes on September 22nd on my Whatnot stream. It's gonna take every single ounce of skill that I have in order to pull that off. I've gotta do marketing, I've gotta do staging, I've gotta do organization, grading, I have to do the right product photography, all that matters to try to make it work. You might wanna scoot out of the way too, sorry.
Should we do a little tour?
Yeah, let's do a little tour.
We'll
You guys
walk
want a
around
little tour?
a little bit.
Okay, we'll go over here.
Yeah.
So I think the reception's kind of bad if we move too much,
Okay.
but you can see?
Yeah.
We're gonna do a complete full retour in about 2 weeks. We're gonna do a new updated tour so you guys can see everything. All of the stuff that you see here will be sold by September 22nd. So in about, that's 17 days. So a little over 2 weeks, all this inventory will be sold. This is our inbound. So stuff comes off the truck and I load it through this store. It comes through here, gets sorted, gets sold, goes back out that side. And maybe we'll go over here.
Okay.
And I'll give you this.
Might take a second.
And I'll talk this way. Cool. So that was it for the reseller secrets. Essentially, do what's right and keep doing the same thing instead of, for some reason, buying bad stuff and fixing it all day. Solving bigger problems, not doing more smaller problems, and then treating this like a job. I know those sound kind of obvious, but every time I open up the lives, people are asking me how to get rid of bad items. I've never done a live where people don't ask me, what do I do with my items that I want to get rid of? So why are we even buying those in the first place?
Deanna,
Okay, take 5.
Deanna's asking, how do you make a choice on what to list from your items that you pick?
So personally, I don't discriminate. I just go get a bag of stuff, start going. I think if you pick, you'll end up just picking the easiest things to list or the highest profit items to list. That's a huge problem because you'll never get to the stuff that's bad. So if you're just starting out or you bought a whole bunch of mistakes, You need to get rid of all that stuff the best you can using the method I was talking about. Optimize those listings, liquidate, then donate. Personally, I don't like donating. The lady earlier that had 650 items in her closet, I would rather go $3 and make 5 cents a piece than donate it. I don't want to drive to the thrift store unless I'm buying. I don't want to be that person. The worst thing in the world would be she puts the 650 items in her car, drives to Goodwill, and they say, sorry, we don't want it. They don't even want it for free. I'm not getting slapped in the face like that. So I'd rather sell it for 5 cents profit or set it on fire. I don't want to redonate it.
Ricardo says, which is your take on selling kids' clothing sets, shirts and pants, or should I list individually?
So this is my take. It's hard because like now as a dad, we bought Henry, my 5-month-old, clothes from Old Navy. He bought pajama sets. Let me see if I have it. Like ice cream and cake and donuts and whatever. And those sets were $2 plus shipping. $2 plus shipping. So it's like so hard to sell those and make money. Let's see. This one was, so this, those are panda onesie. That was $2 plus shipping at oldnavy.com. New. So hard. There's so many things that are super, super cheap. So it's just difficult. Selling it in sets is a good way to get started. If you're a mom trying to get rid of stuff that, or a dad trying to get rid of like extra clothing, it's just so hard because it's so cheap and it's also free. Like there's so many hand-me-downs and those Facebook buy nothing groups. You can get unlimited kids clothing for free. It's just so hard to compete with that, in my opinion.
Boltfine says, Chris, you need to do a series on YouTube about getting items at the side of the road like you spoke about this morning.
So guys, I found a fitness trampoline on the side of the road and I've been driving around looking for this stuff and let's see if I have a picture of it. I've been selling it on Facebook Marketplace. So I kind of feel weird talking about this because like by the dumpsters here, by the dumpsters on the road, we have trash pickup every single week. Do you guys have that where you live? I find stuff all the time that is expensive that's in the trash. So for the first few months that I was here, I was making about $600 a month on Facebook Marketplace, just selling junk. So we will make videos on that. But I really like the idea of buying stuff for free and then flipping it. So we just got this, can you guys see? The Fisher Price house, or it's like a Little Tykes. And these are like $400 and they got it for free. It's missing the basketball hoop attachment. So she can't play, my daughter can't play basketball on it, but it has the soccer and it was on the side of the road. It was completely covered in dirt. So when I brought it home, I sprayed it off with the hose and good to go.
Yeah.
What size is on the pallet? 8.5? So when you guys are buying, like for me, for buying a pallet or buying this truckload of shoes, the main concern for me was the size of shoes. And it looks like we have the most of 8.5, 7.5, 9.5, 9, 10. So it's a good mix of shoes and with mostly the good sizes. We did get stuck with a couple of size 4s, but let me see. Do you guys know how many size 4s we have?
Size 4?
Yeah.
Over to the left.
Like 5?
So,
Oh, wait, no,
6,
that's
7, 8, 9, 10, 14, 15, 16. So far there are 17 size 4s out of 4,000.
Yeah.
We look through half probably. So it's interesting, right? You try to get the best sizes you can, but this is why I don't recommend buying bulk. What if you bought bulk and it was all size 4? Very difficult, right? And on the high end, we have size 14, which I think also includes drag. But I'm a men's size 12 and I can't really fit my foot in the size 14 because it's such a pointy toe. So it's kind of, I'm not really sure who that's for. You have to have a narrow foot and a size 14 to really fit that size. So again, if you buy bulk and you're just starting, what if you get the 14s and the 4s? You'd be in a tough situation. I'd rather you go thrifting.
Ricardo is asking, which is your top selling item in men's category and in women's category?
Jackets for both.
Oh,
jackets, great category. Top selling item.
Ricardo's also asking your opinion on social media posts of items or page.
It's okay. It's just that I'd rather post on eBay with 300 million people. That's why I want to get my eBay account back. So we should do a petition or something and see if I can get my account back. But I'd rather list on eBay with 300 million people, and I don't have to worry about marketing or staging. Like Casey Neistat did this really good video talking about the future of his channel. He's like the GOAT with vlogging, right? And he said that when he did 800 videos in a row vlog, like he traded his life to make that vlog because he's like with his family, like, how do I frame this with his family all day for 800 days? And he's like, every time you do that, you like trade your real life for your fake internet life, right? So if you are on social media making posts, that's what you're doing. You're missing all the moments in your regular life, trading it for that. So why not just post it on eBay and live your regular life? That's my opinion. Why cross-list on 10 platforms and be on your phone all day? Like you miss everything. You miss all the cool stuff that happens when you're on your phone the whole time. So I really just check my Poshmark so I can flex the insights. I try not to use it at all. I try to use it only on the computer.
Christina says, with the buyer guarantee, a buyer can potentially buy 10 items in a multiple order and say none of them fit and then get refunded and keep the items.
They can. There are whole forums on the internet teaching people how to get items from eBay for free. So there's a little bit of scam out there, but again, don't operate like that. Also, eBay has seller guarantees. We talk about that a lot in the group. A lot of people don't even know that. They don't even know about the seller guarantees. They don't do any of the research to put themselves in a position where eBay can back them up. They don't even know. So they don't do the things that eBay requires you to be protected by them. But I haven't had any issues. You guys notice that even though I'm suspended on eBay, I don't talk negatively upon them because they've had my back. It's a little weird right now. I can't sell on the platform, but I think I eventually will get that back, and I still am grateful for that. So I'm not like, you guys don't like. I sold 11 Nintendo Switches. One person scammed me. They gave me my money back. So like, in a category like Nintendo Switches where there's a lot of scams, as long as you follow the correct things, eBay will have your back. Can they see?
Yeah, they can see everything.
I'm kind of curious. Yeah, there's a lot of shoes.
Yeah. Taylor Exchange says, nothing like seeing a billion boxes of shoes.
A billion boxes of shoes. So you guys, please sign up using my code, dailyrefinement.com, or I'm sorry, whatnot.com/invite/dailyrefinement for $15 off your first purchase. And if you have never been on Whatnot before, my show, I'm going to sell all of these shoes for $15. You essentially get the shoe for free. You just have to pay shipping and tax on it, but you're getting a $250 shoe for free if you've never used it before. And I've got so much good stuff coming. I've got Lacoste, which is really hard to get. So, and then I'm most excited about Tanya Taylor. Tanya Taylor is a pretty high-end dress brand. The stuff that I have is directly from their Soho showroom. So after I bought it, I wish I could have filmed it, but they closed the store in Soho. They sold the entire store, closed it, boxed it all up, and sent it over here. So it's all here. I'm excited to sell it. Average MSRP is $400. Really, really good dresses coming soon.
Beer Money says, what's the best way to store a lot of used shoes? Those shoe towers always collapse on me.
I'll go get it.
We want me to show the...
Yeah, we can go in here.
Yeah. This is his Poshmark
Let's
store.
do it.
You're seeing everything today.
Nope. Yep, I'm sure. This is the best way to store shoes, in my opinion. I store 8 to 10 shoes per box. Hopefully you guys can hear me okay. These ones are sorted by color because in this area, we're selling these shoes based by the color. So I have the color and then the size written on the front. When I move into clothing, which is what I'm going to sell after clothes, because a lot of people are like missing the whole thing because I'm not going to sell, I want to sell only shoes on Poshmark, but it's not going to be that easy. Getting shoes is hard. So clothing is much easier to find, so I'll be shifting a little bit more to clothing, but the easiest way to store it, in my opinion, is this way, because you can just number them 1 through 1,000,000, go through one time, pick like number 80, number 90, number 100, 120, 140, and that's going to be an easy way to store them. The shoe racks suck. I do have a commercial rack here. This commercial rack, they will never fall off, but it only stores 60 shoes, which is not very many. So you can get nice racks that don't break, and the ones from Amazon suck. I have one over here, or we can't get to it, but I have another one over there that is horrible and will break. But yeah, we have a horrible one that will break. Hopefully there are some more questions, and should I give you this?
No, you're fine.
You okay for a
It's
second?
fine. Yeah, Beer Money says bag them and box them. I never thought of that.
Yeah, bag and box them, 7 to 10 shoes per box. And it's the same system for everything. When I retire and have the eBay shed in my backyard, I'm going to use the same system for anvils, hammers, whatever people,
Yeah,
Apple
anything.
Pencil, bar of gold, metal detector, whatever. As long as it fits in this box, it's going to be fine. And I think the best size store is around 200 square feet. This room is 225 square feet. It's perfect. I'd love to just drop this in my backyard and call it a day. Like, I don't really want to have a bigger store. Plus, I'm already busy, so I just want to walk into my little cute store every single day, sell 10 items, call it a day. I kind of want to buy a BMW with the money, and then call it. I don't really have anything else. I'm happy with my van. I actually put in the forum on Reddit, does anybody know anyone that's done an LS swap on a Honda Odyssey? Meaning, like, put a Corvette engine in my Odyssey, and that would make me happy. But then people are just saying, bro, just get a sports car. So maybe I'll just do that instead of, because like, you're putting your kids' lives in danger by making it fast. But I don't know. Like, I don't drive fast. I just want it to sound like that.
Let's see. Oh, and then Beer Money's also asking what size are the boxes that fit these shoes.
I haven't heard that question in a
I
minute.
know, right?
30 by 8 by 8 are
Yeah.
the size of my boxes, but I recommend you get shelves and then you buy boxes that match whatever it is you are selling.
Yeah.
So, like, this may not work for you. I tried 20 or 30 different box sizes before I picked these. And even though I picked these, I think I could have gone like a little bit shorter. I might have gone a little bit shorter because they're a little bit cheaper, and plus, like, I kind of like being able to see further down the row from the side, and it's kind of blocking the way. So I might go 30 by 7 by 8 or something. But again, when you do some homework and figure out what boxes work for you, and I try to sell mainly women's sneakers. So men's sneakers are okay, but women have more shoes, so I'd rather sell women's shoes. Women's sneakers particularly because they fit a lot more items.
Bold Finds says, I can't believe how much stock you have, Chris, and how quickly you turn it over. So inspiring.
Yeah, I'm really looking to move stuff fast. I want to move this last truck in 1 month. So that's about 20,000 items. I want to turn it over in 1 month, and that would be fantastic. That way I don't have to, if I turn it over faster, I can sell it for cheaper, which I like. I want to give people the best deal that I can. So I'm only hoping to make like $2 a shoe on my Good American shoe. I'm not looking to make a lot. I'm not greedy with it. I just want them gone and then move on to the next thing. So it just depends on what I'm selling, but these particular shoes and the marketing that I'm aiming towards. So I'm trying to open up my market a little bit more and not just sell to the 30 to 50-year-old woman. That's kind of my demographic right now, but I want the 20 to 30. The 20 to 30 is where the money's at. It's just not easy. You got to really do a good job. These are heavily marketed by Khloe Kardashian, so that's where I'm aiming.
Sandra is asking, how do you ship the shoes? In a box, a padded mailer, or just a poly?
I ship them.
For this?
Yep,
Allison and I were wondering if we could leave a little early today. We're really burnt out.
sure.
Okay, thank you.
What time do you guys want to go?
Now would be.
Now?
Yeah, I need a cold shower and a nap.
I don't know if I can make it anymore.
Sounds good.
You can
Yeah.
either
You can take it off or.
take our.
Sounds good.
Thank you so much, Chris. Appreciate it.
See ya. See, this is the issue with they went on a road trip, right? So it's a mixture of them going on a road trip and being gone for 4 days, and also the physical nature of sorting. But they're leaving a couple of hours earlier. So that's something that I have to deal with as a business owner, and that is a real thing. So for me, I always have margin. It doesn't require us to work at Olympic speed to make this work. We're never in a rush anymore. So I don't know if you guys have noticed this, but recently I haven't been in a rush or as erratic as before because there's margin in everything. So this is the Tyvek mailer, which is not
Show it over here.
oh.
I just don't want to show your screen.
This is the Tyvek mailer, which is not flat rate, and it's what 99% of our Poshmark orders ship in. And this is the shipping station, which is the same for Whatnot. So if it's a single order, it goes in the Tyvek poly mailer, which is also waterproof. And I don't use padded because we wrap all of our shoes in plastic. So it goes in the plastic inside of here into the shipping container.
Into a bin right by the door.
And this right here is a lawn bag holder. So like this is from the, this is what they use to hold leaves in somebody's yard. So it clips onto here and it holds it just fine. One single shoe order goes in these, a multiple order goes in the larger. I include a thank you card with every single order, which has QR codes, one to my Facebook group with Tech and Sports, with our 15 calls, one from my Whatnot. And yes, I do advertise to my Poshmark customers, my other businesses, because why not? So not against the rules to do that. So right here is my cute little thing my wife got me to put our next packages to sell, which only works for Poshmark. So like, I only have 10 to 30 orders a day. It'll fit in here. We ship. I don't have to move at all. I can reach to my left, grab it, ship it, put it to my right. Saves a whole bunch of time. We switched to the Brother printer. It is more reliable than the Rollo printer, but it's not sexy. So it is what it is. It's not cute, but we do have the Rollo printer, which mine is especially cute because it has, Huskies on it. But we don't use it anymore. It's a paperweight.
So do you just print like 2 labels per page?
We print 2 labels per page, and then when they're all printed, we flip it over, and let's see if it's like that. It is. So you guys can see. We print once they're all printed. We flip it over and print on the other side. It doesn't jam ever, but the only caveat is you need to find the right third-party ink dealer, because like I don't use genuine Brother ink, so I'm still looking for the right link on the ink that lasts the most.
That was like a tongue twister.
I know, right? Let me get my phone real quick.
Yep. Break room's over there.
Where did I put my phone?
Is it by the break room?
Oh, it might be better.
Maybe.
This is real life, folks. So is there a general rule here that you don't set anything down? Because it might be shipped with an order?
Yeah. It's not over there? Oh.
No. It's right here.
There we go.
Okay. Yeah. Let me go. We'll go sit over here now. This is the break room.
We found it. This is the break room. Wow, you're seeing the whole shop today.
You guys are seeing the whole shop. It's not the real tour though, because we're not quite done.
There's our neon sign, which is never in the videos anymore.
Yeah,
sadly,
it's not in the videos
but it's here in the
anymore,
break room.
And we do drink about 100 gallons of, no, not 100, 20 gallons of water a month. A lot, because we talk for a living. So a lot of water. I've been trying to make sure I drink at least 1 gallon of water a day. I still have high uric acid, which is super annoying. So I think that I asked my doctor about allopurinol. A lot of people would recommend that I take allopurinol to lower my uric acid. My doctor won't prescribe it to me. He's like, I won't prescribe it to you because you don't need it. Just don't be dehydrated. Don't eat organ meat. You'll be fine. So I don't know. You guys think my doctor is in the wrong here? He won't prescribe me medication because he doesn't think I need it. He's like, because you don't have any flares really. The only day that you had a flare was the day that I did the Whatnot on year and a half ago, I did a Whatnot stream where I did $30,000 in a day by myself. That day,
Yeah.
I got gout. So
yeah, that was intense.
it was intense. And the food that has the highest uric acid is turkey and beer and candy. So that day, I had 2 turkey sandwiches for lunch because I didn't know. I mean, just randomly, I was thinking Tekken Sports eats turkey sandwiches, and he said turkey never laid up anybody in bed. So I was like, okay. But the thing is, I didn't drink any water the whole day, which is the main thing. And then that night was date night, so I didn't want to miss date night. So I went out with my wife and had beers and fried chicken. Also probably terrible. So no water all day, 2 turkey sandwiches, fried chicken and beer, and I had gout the next day. So maybe that was just a one-off thing, but my uric acid is high and it's super annoying. So I want that to go away, and the main thing is water. Not that you guys care about any of that.
It's kind of a tangent.
But yeah, that's the. Thank you guys for recommending allopurinol. My doctor will not prescribe it to me. So and I'm like, what if I'm damaging my joints right now with the uric acid that I can't see? And he's like, we'll see. I don't think you need it. So that's been interesting. And also, I've been biking a lot more recently, so I feel like a little bit better shape. So maybe that'll help.
Yeah, biking is fun. Panda the Picker says, any reason you changed from the slanted photo setup to a flat lay?
So many reasons. So if you guys watch my video, Daily Refinement 1 Hour Method, you see it takes about 90 seconds for me to do hanging on the vertical flat lay, and now it takes under 60 seconds. So just shaving off 30 seconds is a lot. Cut my photo time by 50%, and I like it. I'm tall, I'm 6'2", and it doesn't bother me. So I prefer the flat lay. It's the Tekken Sports original method, and I just, like I said, the secret that I'm talking about today is do what's right and keep doing it that way. I don't know why I wanted to do it my way. You guys ever have that tendency? Want to do it your way instead of the right way? I have 2 kids now. So as I grew up, maybe it's because when I grew up, my parents were like, if I say this is a chair, it's a chair. And I'm like, no, it's not a chair, that's a fan. And they'd be like, what did I say? And so like I was scared of my parents my whole life. So maybe now that I'm an adult, if I want to say this is a chair, you don't have to say it's a chair. Like I'm not like that. So I think now that I don't care about my way, hopefully I can convey that to my kids, right? And be like, let's look at the internet. The internet says this is the right way. Let's do it that way. It's not my way because kids don't listen to you anyway. So try to get somebody else to confirm the idea, not me. I also love appliances with jingles.
Really?
Do you have anything that sings?
I have so many things that sing to me,
Really?
especially my
Like what?
laundry machine sings
your
like a
laundry
whole 3-minute song.
Do you get, because like my new rice cooker doesn't have a jingle and it really bothers me. It just goes.
Because you don't know when it's done.
No, it just one singular beat.
Oh, okay.
And I want a song. This one sings when you turn it on and when you turn it off. That's great.
It's very nice.
Yeah, it's very nice. It's soothing. So I like that. Yeah, so I don't know. I like appliances that sing. Is there any more questions?
Yeah.
Okay, let's do it.
Hi says, the Labor Day weekend was an absolute disaster for me. Out of 700 listed items, I had 0 sales. 3 days of no sales.
Let's see.
Did you get any?
Let's see. I'm going to look right now. Let's look at my Labor Day sales. I bet it's a little slower than normal. So far, when was Labor Day?
Yesterday.
Yesterday, so let me just look real quick. Yesterday was a little slower than normal, 573 on Poshmark.
Yeah, right there.
But so far this month, we're trending a little lower than where I want to be. With my current setup, I want to be at around, let's see. I want to be at around 1,000 a day. So I'm a little bit slower than normal, but my sales weren't completely slow on Labor Day. Still had some sales.
Yeah.
See, as you guys can see, I was running at about 1,000 a day, and it dropped down to about 500 a day during the Labor Day weekend. So it did go down.
Yeah. So it
It did go down a little bit, but it's still okay.
but maybe
But people are on vacation. They're
Yeah.
not really spending money. They're more just playing around.
yeah. Let's see.
I love the Poshmark app for showing numbers. I was like, it's actually pretty good. It's better. It's almost better than eBay in certain ways.
Taylor Exchange is asking, do you see yourself teaching your kiddos how to sell on eBay or build a social media?
No, not social. I will show them how to build a social media, but I'm more concerned with teaching them how to build a business. Like, I would love to help my daughter do what we recommend and sell something that she already owns, get some money, and then start snowballing that. That is so cool to be able to know that she can take care of herself no matter what. That's a very cool skill. So Natalie is very helpful. She like loves serving people things and helping, and like her thing is like, for example, I push the baby in the stroller and she wants to push the baby in the stroller. So like, I want to teach her how to be self-sufficient. That's my main goal. I want to somehow teach her to like running. I don't know how to do that. And be self-sufficient. So those are the two skills that I want. Because if she is fit and knows how to turn something from nothing, then I think she'll be fine. Because essentially, big business is just little business. Like, what I'm doing right now is the same thing as what I did when I first started. That's why my Poshmark closet is working, because I'm just applying what I learned in a little bit of a larger scale. Even when starting from zero, I'm going to be moving at that pace where only good things help so much. Guys, I spent 0 time today fixing old listings. Right? Only good stuff. And it helps so much. Right now, like during this call, I've been talking to a few different suppliers on different goods. I'm just determining what do I want to buy next and the next moves. And if that's all you're thinking about is what to buy next, because, okay, my goal of selling $10 million a year, I don't know how to do that yet, right? But I'm not discouraged. I see people doing it on social media all the time, but I'm not discouraged. I just don't know how yet. I need to take my time and figure out how to do the right things on a larger scale, not different things. So if Natalie, my kids, could be like, Daddy, this is the right way to do it, I would be like, great. Not my way, just the right way. Somehow I got confused growing up because my parents said, this is the way, it's my way or the highway, and I hated that. So I wish that I didn't have to hear it from my parents. And now that I am a parent, I will not diss any other parents because they are doing the best they can. My parents did not know a different way, but I know a different way. So it would be really silly of me to tell Natalie, do it this way because I told you so. You know what I mean? Like, I want her to realize that if she eats candy, she's going to have a tummy ache and not have to have me tell her, don't eat candy. I'm really enjoying raising kids, by the way. It's fun. 2 is good, though. I need to figure. I'm getting the surgery I don't want anymore.
Tad HG says, do you ever have bad weeks, like with low sales and returns, etc., all at once? It can be a bummer.
Yeah, it can be a bummer. I guess I set my goals so much higher than where I want to be that a bad week doesn't mess up my day that much. So, like, as an example, in the group, the last podcast that we did, we were talking about having a bigger bank account every week. So I want everyone right now listening, this is what we're doing in the group, but whatever your income goal is, I consider that a D minus. You need to set your income goal 3 times higher than that. So if your bills are 4, let's set a goal at 12. So when you have a bad week, like me, a bad week, you still pay your bills. That's what I'm looking at. It's a bummer, but you're still paying your bills. You don't want it to have it be a bummer and you can't pay your bills. Then, you know what I mean? Like, you want to set it up so an F still pays your bills. So my goal for Poshmark is to make 10 sales a day. 10 sales a day for me in my Poshmark closet is $350 a day in sales on here, because the Poshmark number does not include shipping, if that makes sense. So a D minus, worst, I failed, would be 350. But you guys saw I didn't have any days under 500, and that was on a slow weekend with Labor Day. So I want everyone to set up the same plan. Aim for the stars, fall on the moon. What does it say? Shoot for the stars,
Yeah. And if you fail, you still...
land on the moon.
I forget, actually.
Whatever
Shoot for
this-
the moon, and then if you fail, you still land amongst the stars, something like that.
I don't know what the saying is, guys, but don't aim for like your goal, your bills being paid should not be the goal. That can't be the goal. And if you fail, you can't pay your bills. Hopefully somebody in the chat can
Yeah.
help us with it, because that was hard.
Vitsi V says, how much do you need to start?
0. You need to start with 0. So I just made the chart of starting with 0, flipping it, getting $20 profit. Of the $20, take $8 out of the 20. So now you have $12 in your bank account. Take 8, turn that into $20 profit. Deposit 20 or like deposit money into your bank account every time you sell something, and just use the money that you made profit-wise to grow the business. So I have a chart that I made later that I can show you guys that shows this exercise, but it works best if you start with 0. If you start with a lot of money, you can make a lot of mistakes. Because imagine you guys you spent $100,000 on a load like me, and it was the wrong stuff. Like, it takes a lot of time to fix that. You got to sell all that garbage and then continue again with the next one.
My collection stylist says, shoot for the moon. Even if you miss, you land among the stars. That's the phrase.
It just doesn't make sense because the stars are higher. That's why I'm confused.
Well, it's just looking at the sky in general.
That would mean you fall up.
Sure. You went.
Why isn't it aim for the stars, land on the moon? That saying does not make sense.
Let's see. John B says, hi Chris, have you seen any AI platforms that work effectively for reselling yet? Are you planning to use any in the future?
Oh man, you guys are talking about the most, yes, I know the AI that works. It's the machine where you crumple up a piece of clothing and throw it into it, and then it irons it, steams it, writes the title for you, the item specifics. It analyzes all the items in the market, prices it perfectly, stores it, ships it for you, does the customer service. That's coming. Until okay, there's this huge problem coming. Seriously, huge problem coming. When that machine is done, which it's almost done, okay, because my wife works for a company and they have it. They have a piece of machinery that can pick up an item, identify, and the price. They already have that part. Okay, so when that machine can fold it into a cute little box and put it on a shelf somewhere, and they can do the whole thing, our lives as resellers are over. We can now no longer compete with a robot that's free. They just run the robot 24 hours a day and we're done. In the meantime, while we can still do that, we can make as much money as we can until we are replaced. When Uber replaces the people with automated cars, it's over. There's no more Uber drivers. When DoorDash replaces that and it's 0 money to get your food delivered, that's going to be so insane. It's $12 if you pick it up. It's $12 if you have it delivered. How can you compete with that? Our jobs and our lives are over at that point. We all have to become computer scientists to fix these machines because there'll be no other jobs. So I know that AI is coming where you can just throw an item into it and it does it for you. That's scary. Until then, there's no reason to use AI to write your description. Just put used iPhone. There's a scratch on the top left corner. Fill out the item specifics. It'll tell you what the price of the item at. You do your additional research and find out if the eBay recommendation is too low or too high. Change the price. Press the blue button to list. There's no way to automate that. And if we are getting close to automating that, then we might be near the end.
Adrienne says, Chris, I'm interested in liquidation, and you've talked about contracts with manufacturers and distributors.
Yep.
And using brokers to connect with brands. Can you expand?
Yeah. So at the end of every single season, all these companies have to liquidate their goods because they have to keep it's on the books and they don't want it on their books. It's a liability on the books. They want to sell all the stuff on their books that is not profitable, turn it into money. So they use brokers to sell their inventory, and the brokers generally sell it to TJ Maxx, Ross, Marshalls. You guys heard of these companies, Burlington Coat Factory? That's where these goods typically go. They can also go to regular people like you and I once you have the right relationships and you can prove you can sell it. That's the main thing. They don't want to, because like if they sell it to you and then you don't sell it, it makes them look bad. They want the inventory sold to the final customer ideally, and they can move it on. That's why TJ Maxx, Ross, Burlington, they get all the good stuff because the brands know it'll get mixed in and it won't hurt their brand too much. Like, Here's a bolo that you can find at TJ Maxx. Johnny O. Johnny O is a fantastic golf brand. They liquidate through TJ Maxx, right? Their stuff goes to TJ Maxx, gets mixed in, people don't even know. You can get an $80 polo for $26 at TJ Maxx. Gets filtered in, gone. Now, companies don't like working with TJ Maxx sometimes because they have net 60 or net 90 terms. That means they get the item, they don't pay the company for 60 to 90 days. I pay the company up front because I want it now. That means I have a small chance of getting the stuff. If I were to say, I'll pay you 60 to 90 days after I get it, they would just sell it to TJ Maxx. There's an advantage to working with me because I pay now. Also, I have an ability to sell it. This year, I've already sold 300,000 items. So I have a track history of moving the items. That's why it's so crazy I'm not on eBay. 300,000 items this year. None on eBay. So that's so wild. So wild. And I would, if you guys want to do liquidation, maybe we start a little liquidation call. It's a different game.
Yeah, that'd be interesting.
It's a different game. I'm also considering opening a second location in Sacramento because Sacramento is not that far and it's way cheaper. Oh my God, this is cheaper than here. I don't know. There's so much risk doing it in the Bay Area because it's so freaking expensive here. So I don't want to grow this anymore. I know that for sure. Growing in the Bay Area is hard. It took me 2 years to find this space. I was looking for a space from before I met Christine. And it was so hard to find another space. I worked in a storage unit for 3 years and then finally found a dope space and it's already too small. So like, you know, it's buying by the tractor trailer is the cheapest because it costs the same to ship half a trailer as a full trailer, which sounds crazy, right? So 13 pallets is the same cost to ship as 27 pallets, but you have to have room to do it. And this building is a little bit too small. I can only do one truckload at a time.
Yeah.
So it's just like a little bit too small to do this comfortably. Yeah, it is what it is. We'll take 2 more questions. Thank you everybody for coming and please join my Whatnot show next week. Use my invite code in the description.
Where was it? There it is. Jaw G says, question, do you have a retirement plan? You kind of went up your retirement plan.
Yes. So I just released that last video called Reseller Fire. So my retirement plan is when you work for yourself, there's something called a SEP IRA. So the SEP IRA is to make up for being a business owner, you're usually behind. Versus if you work for a company and do 401k like my wife, she's going to retire just fine. But for me as a business owner, it usually takes people a lot longer to get going because building your business the first few years, you don't make a lot. So the SEP IRA contribution is much higher. Can somebody put in the chat what the 401k limit is this year? It's probably like 22,000 or something, I don't know. But the SEP IRA contribution limit is 66,000 or something like that for me so if you're a business owner, you can contribute more. So my retirement plan is to put in $66,000 a year or more because it goes up every year until I'm 59. So next year I turn 40. So getting up there. So 19 more years of contributing 60,000 per year and I'll be at theoretically $4 or $5 million in my retirement account there. Also, I'm trying to buy a piece of real estate every 2 years. Not easy, but I'm still going to try to aim for that goal with my wife. And then also, I have my eBay retirement store, which I'm hoping to make $73,000 indefinitely, because when you're old, what are you really going to do? And I was watching the Blue Zones documentary on Netflix. And do you want to get the chair? No, okay. The Blue Zones documentary, people live a lot longer if they volunteer and if they work. So I don't want to stop working. I want to work forever, but just light work. So 10 items a day when I'm an expert is going to be no problem. And I noticed this. Older people, and I consider older over 30 because young people now are like, starts at like 12. So if you're over the age of 30, when you go to the thrift store, you will know what things are because you bought them when you were a kid. And a 12-year-old doesn't know that yet because they're just barely alive, right? So I went thrifting with some older people the other day, They're like, I bought this receiver in 1970. They remember it. They bought that. So of course they're gonna know a lot more. So when I'm older, when I retire, I'm hoping when I go to the thrift store, I know everything. Like, and that'll just be my retirement money. 73K a year is nice. Extra $200 a day, you can buy a lot of things. So I want to grow old in a place like Hong Kong where they're nice to old people. So I'm hoping that I can relocate when I'm older. Because here, if you moved your retirement home, it shaves 6 to 12 years off your life. And I don't want to do that. So in other countries like Hong Kong or Singapore, there are no retirement homes. Old people just live with the regular people. So I don't want to be in a position at the end of my life where I have to be put in a retirement home, ideally. So that's kind of scares me. And that happened to my grandma. We put her into a retirement home because my parents couldn't afford the care that she needed, and she passed like within a year. So it's like that's not good. So hopefully I can avoid that. So my retirement plan is to keep working as long as I can. Also, people in the blue zones, a lot of them garden. So I think that's really good for you. So this is what's kind of wild. Have you guys ever tracked your steps to figure out how many steps you're walking? These people in their 70s to their 90s are still getting 10,000 steps a day. That's a lot. It's a good amount at that age. So I watched a 90-year-old on that show do a handstand. I was like, bro,
Wow.
90-year-old. So anyway, I want to live a long, happy life. And with retirement is odd these days because people are living so long. So I call it reseller fire, where your retirement, your investments pay your bills, but you just resell to make extra money. I think that's what I want to do when I get older. I've already picked this as my occupation for my life. I'm happy with it. I don't mind that people think I'm a trash elf. That's okay. Shout out to Scavenger Life. I still think they should continue to do their show, but I'm a trash elf. I find stuff on the side of the road and I sell it. It's not glamorous, but it does the job. Is that it?
Yeah. Oh, they're asking, what's your email again?
Oh, my email is chris@dailyrefinement.com. Somebody please type that in the chat. You can email me if you want to visit. I want to do 4 people at a time so we can, it's just more fun. We can do testing. We can go into the Poshmark room and list items. If you want to discuss liquidation, that's something interesting to me. I would consider a franchise because like I don't have enough resources here, and I feel like in a different state, like because I want to pay $30 an hour to work for me. I feel like that's a good job somewhere. In the Bay Area, though, it's not really that great. So, in Sacramento, which is not too far from here, $30 an hour goes a lot further. That's why I'm aiming to do that. So maybe I can partner up with somebody in a different location and we can use my Whatnot stream for a second or third location. I'm pretty interested in that. But where I live, $35 an hour, $30 an hour is just the basics. People are not getting rich or buying a house or anything on that income typically. But that's it. I guess the last question is, before I go, you guys can comment this, is if you make $100,000 a year, how expensive of a car can you afford? Because I'm going to make a little tutorial on how to buy a car. A lot of people have asked me since I sold 1,000 cars for Lexus, what are the things that I noticed. And when I worked at Lexus, people would spend 75% of their money that they, or 75% of their annual salary on a car. So if you made 100,000, they would buy a $75,000 car. That was just the norm where I worked. So just curious what you guys think. With a $100,000 a year job, what expensive car, or how expensive of a car can you afford? And I'll see you guys later.
Bye.
Bye.
See you next week.